In AccuDent, I'm going to show you how to edit procedures, how to invoice procedures, how to get payment, and how to have a look at your incomes. Let's start with a patient. This patient, we go to current. In current, we are going to make a certain number of procedures. Let's say I make a root canal on an anterior teeth. I make a crown, temporary crown, and I make a ceramic crown. So now I see that my procedures are coming here, procedure, procedure, procedure. I have the price of that. I did not charge for the temporary crown, but I can do it. I make a double click and I change the price for the price of temporary crown. I save, and this is updated now. I have the list of what I am going to invoice. You see here, 5,000 will be invoiced. This is how much is paid, nothing. So the balance is 5,000. I am starting with patient's fees, not in a co-pay system where the insurance is going to charge on its side. So if I go now to payments, I see that we have 5,000 pending, even if the invoice is not editing yet. So I go back to the chart. I am going to make a selection. I select these three, and I'm going to go to insurance. I click on insurance, and by this patient is AdNIC, so the AdNIC claim form will come here automatically with the name of the patient, all the details that we've been entering, and this is the list of things that we need to invoice with the detail of the invoice in letters, the VAT and the total payable. So we go down and we have the same with a separate invoice if needed. So now I can download that file and I have to answer this question. Do we post or we don't post? We are going to post. As long as it's posted, it will receive an invoice number, and we can print this with the printer here, or we can just save it. So now I go here. If I go to history, I click on history. I have a claim form which has been edited today, and with this number and with the insurance, which is AdNIC. So we can really follow up and track that. If I I open that, I will find what was edited previously. So we have access to this. We have access to this number, we have access to this amount. So for the payment, the patient is going to pay. So if we click here, the amount will come automatically here by cash or credit card. Let's say it's going to be payment by credit card. We can select the invoice number because we have an invoice number now. We click on this invoice number and we save. So now it is saved, and the patient has been able to make a full payment. If we go down, we have 5,000 invoiced, 5,000 paid, and the balance is 0. So what we can do also, we can go to reports on the left side, incomes. We have to click a password, we log in, and now we have the name of the patient with the date of payment, the kind of payment by credit card, and this is paid by the patient. If we are in a network, we will update the payment done in the insurance payment. So doing that, we know exactly where we are. Now we have the VAT list, and the VAT list is very important for the accountant. So we can start on April 1st to April 30. We can search, and we have the list of the invoices that we edited this month. So we can set up the list in chronological order, 26, 27, 28, 29, 10, 11, 12. So like this, we will not fail any invoice and fail anything that we need to declare on the VAT. And by the way, if you go to the status, we cannot delete an invoice, but if we've been making a mistake, we can void it or we can keep it posted. So in this case, we have been making several void invoices and several are posted. When you want to look at a posted invoice, you click here, you go to the patient's file, you go to the history, and you can look at the posted invoice and see all the details which have been signed. What you can do also for the patient, you can send an email with a document attached like this. You send to the patient and you send the claim form and the invoice of the patient by email. So you don't need to print more because they are going to submit that to the insurance by email. So they will just forward what we are sending them. So this is all about the patient's payment. And in some cases, the payment was done too much. So what we can do, we can make a reimbursement. So let's say the patient has been paying too much. We are going to give back 500 dirhams. We are going to give that back in cash. And we're going to say that it is a reimbursement. I don't say minus 500. I say 500 has been done as a reimbursement. We save that. The reimbursement was saved in a good way. So now if I go back, I see that there is a reimbursement now of 500 and there is a balance of 500. So because the amount is wrong. So we go to the report, we go to open the income, and we are going to open this like this with a password. And now we see that minus 500 was done for this patient and 5,000 was done as a full payment. Okay, so we will now go back to the patient's file. And in the patient's file, what we can do, because this invoice was wrong, we can go to history. We can delete this invoice. We don't delete the invoice, we just void it because this is active. So we can void this invoice. We can make a correction on the chart. We are going to remove this, or we are going to change the price, let's say. So it will be 1,000. We save, implement, and now we have all the details of what the invoice is this, the payment is this, the reimbursement is this, and this is the difference in between this and this. So now you know how to manipulate that. You know how to manipulate the payments, the invoices, and tracking the VAT, and even the reimbursement if it's needed in some cases. I thank you for your attention.